What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. It is your boy Richard Donahue here, half of Turf Talk, and today we're doing the QB tier list. So pretty much we have a tier list of all these quarterbacks, and we're gonna go through from the best being God. I didn't even edit this, but then there's elite, almost elite, really good, good, decent, hell. We know who that is. Mid, bad, and terrible. So let's get started. First off, you have Josh Allen. Now this is really simple, right? So not how. He's going all the way up here. So Josh Allen is elite. There's no way you can put him anywhere else but elite. He is almost on his own level. Now, Jacoby Brissett, I'm gonna go bad. He's not mid. You know what I mean? Like mid quarterbacks. Well, let's just find a mid quarterback. I'll go Justin Fields. He's a mid quarterback. Let's go with Flacco. He's a mid quarterback. I would almost say like someone like Justin Herbert. He's almost a mid quarterback. Got Andy Dalton. He's bad. Like all these guys. Kirk Cousins is terrible. Derek Carr's terrible. Like they're great backup quarterbacks, but if we're talking about starting quarterbacks, yeah, exactly. So next up we got Joe Burrow. So Joe Burrow is in the same conversation as Josh Allen. I'm gonna put him in the exact same spot, elite. Because he is elite. Here's an interesting one. So we got I'm sorry, I'm blanking. Jaden Daniels. He went for 350 yards in the playoffs. He got all the way to the conference championship as a rookie with the supporting cast that honestly was pretty bad. So when you look at all that, you gotta say he's at least almost elite, but I think he's in that elite category. Now, how many guys can you actually put in this elite category? You know what I mean? Like, not many. Elite's supposed to be like the top of the top. So I got Sam Darnold. Let's just get him on the board. Sam Darnold is I'd say he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Like he can win you games. Like as you can already see, 14 wins. With the Minnesota Vikings. But he can't win you a Super Bowl. Not on his own at least. Say Jared Goff is a really good quarterback. I think he's very accurate. His statistics are always really good. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I think Justin Herbert is another really good quarterback. I think Justin Herbert is slightly overrated, but like honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if anything happened with Justin Herbert where he just starts popping off. Hmm. Now, where do we put? This is hard for me. Jalen Hurts. So he's at least almost elite. He's a Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl MVP. If we're talking QB tier list, he's not there. If we're talking overall best quarterbacks, when I consider my stuff like accolades, like he honestly is right behind Josh Allen. I'd actually put him like right here, like and ahead of Joe Burrow, ahead of Daniels. But I think he's almost elite. Like just taking the team out of it, just the quarterback, almost elite. Yeah, that looks right. Now, next up we have Lamar Jackson. So this is obvious. Um, Lamar Jackson's on a tier of his own. So he's an elite quarterback. I'd have him here. Um, honestly though, and people aren't gonna like this. I'm gonna put him ahead. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put him ahead. I think that you know what? I'm gonna put Josh Allen here too. I gotta change up my list. This is how it is. No, that's how it is. So I'd put Herbert in almost elite. But the problem is like I don't think statistically he is. But I'm gonna try to not let my bias go ahead. Mac Jones, you're terrible. Trevor Lawrence is bad. Daniel Jones is hell. Daniel Jones is our first person of hell. He's not good. So I want to go through Patrick Mahomes because he's right here. Patrick Mahomes, we already know he's on the top tier. Here, I don't like how that says God. Let's go S tier. All right, this is S tier. Yeah. I mean this is right. In order to top tier, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. That seems good to me. Next, Joe Burrow is in this conversation, but he's not on the same level, especially with his team and everything, his injuries. Now, Lamar Jackson had injuries, but he hasn't had them in at least 3 years. All right, next up, we're going to go Baker Mayfield. So when it comes to Baker Mayfield, like, I put Baker Mayfield over Jalen Hurts. That's my problem that I'm having. Like, he had 45 passing touchdowns, I think, this year. Baker Mayfield is elite. I mean, you gotta do that. So I'm gonna put this as A tier. This is B tier. This is C tier. If this is B tier, he's gonna go up. C tier, he's gonna go up. This is gonna be D tier. This is gonna be E tier. That's still hell. That's still mid. Terrible. I'm turning into F tier. All right. I like this. I like this a lot. When we look at your F tier, you are bad. Jordan Love. Jordan Love's good, actually. I'm gonna put Jordan Love in B tier. I mean, I like him a lot. He kind of had a down year. Even though his down year, dude, he still had a good year. Kyler Murray's an interesting one. I think Kyler Murray is right at the top of C tier. So like right behind Darnold or right in front of Darnold. He has potential to be B tier, maybe even A tier. Drake May right now is C tier. McCarthy hasn't played yet. Bo Nix. Bo Nix is a good one. Bo Nix is a very questionable one too. I'm gonna put him at least in C, but I think he already is in the back of B. I think Bo Nix is a really good NFL quarterback. So this is what we're looking at right now. It looks perfect to me as of right now. I'm just gonna go starters. So let's just throw all these guys in this tier so I could get them all. All right. Dak Prescott. Got Brock Purdy. You got A Richardson's in here. We got a lot of guys that we got to go through. Got him. Got him. Got that. We're not putting Dorian Thompson Robinson in this QB tier list. Are you kidding me? Got Caleb Williams. Russell Wilson's a starting quarterback. I'm putting Jameis Winston in here. Deshaun Watson's a starter. CJ Stroud. All right, here we go. So Dak Prescott, I'm gonna put in the top of C. I do think he's behind Darnold at this current moments. I think Bryce Young is closer to the top of C. I think Bryce Young is ahead of Dak Prescott. Michael Penix is a good one. I think Penix is. I'm gonna put him at D tier. This isn't anything against Michael Penix. He just hasn't really done enough for me to reward him higher than that. I'm gonna put Brock Purdy in C tier. I mean, we kind of seen the real Brock Purdy when there's no weapons, but also their team was very injury ridden. I'm gonna put Aaron Rodgers in D tier. Actually, no, I'm gonna put Aaron Rodgers in E tier. He's been really bad. Same with Anthony Richardson. Here's a good one though, Matt Stafford. So Matt Stafford had a decent year this year, but he really turned up in the playoffs, and that's what makes him go at least to B tier for me. I'm not gonna put him in A tier. I am gonna put him ahead of these guys, ahead of Goff. Which is funny because that was the trade, Goff and Stafford. Next you got Geno Smith. I think Geno Smith is Herbert, a D tier quarterback. He gets a lot of passing yards, but his ratios are always really bad. Tua Tagovailoa. So as you can tell, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. I'm going to put my bias aside. Now, hear me out. If he's healthy, he's right here in the top of B. No, honestly, he's better than Herbert when he's healthy. So we're gonna put Herbert behind him when he's healthy. But we can't just rank off of when he's healthy because it's when you're ranking that it's not just when the player is healthy. It's how much is your player available. So let me see something. All right, I'm gonna go. Like I'd still take him over Bo Nix. I think the back of B tier, like the back of B tier. I like that. I like that a lot. This looks good because honestly, when I look at him, I would take him over everyone in C tier. And I know a lot of people wouldn't, but that's just because people don't watch ball. People want to hate on Tua. I honestly think Caleb Williams had a pretty good year this year. I'm gonna put him in C tier as well. Russell Wilson, he's slightly better, maybe. No, Russell Wilson's an E tier quarterback, honestly. Oh, JMO, I love JMO. He's definitely B tier. CJ Stroud's the next really good one because we know that Deshaun Watson, I made the hell tier because it's for him. It belongs to him. So he could stay there. I really like CJ Stroud. He's at least a B tier. I think he might be borderline A tier. Like when I put this in perspective, this looks right. You know what I mean? Like this looks good. S tier. You got Josh Allen, you got Lamar Jackson, and you got Patrick Mahomes. These are quarterbacks that with no matter what the team is, I think they can win the team games and get to the playoffs. Next tier you have A tier. Right behind them are these two, Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow. Both of them are absolutely elite, but I'm gonna have to put them in A tier just because they haven't had the same level of success. Like we got 3 MVPs right here, and then we got two comeback player of the years for Joe Burrow, and a conference championship and a rookie of the year for Jaden Daniels. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. I'm just saying that they're not on the same level as these top three. Then you got Baker Mayfield. He was an absolute dog. I think he had 45 touchdowns this year, and I don't think I'm mistaking that. I think he actually did, which is amazing. 45 touchdowns as a quarterback is crazy. He's definitely very close. He needs to do a little bit more in the playoffs, and then we could put him in the same conversation as these top five. Someone in that conversation in the top five is Jalen Hurts. I currently have him ranked fourth above Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels. Skill wise, he is not there, but he's a winner. You can't deny that he's not a winner. You know what I mean? I mean, he's 100% someone that will go out and he's going to win games. Maybe not as many as these three, but he definitely helps. Yeah, I mean, he won in Alabama. I think he went to Oklahoma. Then he came, and ever since he's been the starting quarterback, he's been winning. So, CJ Stroud, he had a down year. He also had a terrible offensive line. I'd say like the second worst offensive line in the league. And he still had a good ratio. It's just a down year for his standard. You know what I mean? So I still keep him in A tier. B tier is where it gets interesting. We got Herbert, got Stafford, Goff, Love, Nix, and Tua. I think that's a good tier. Those are all quarterbacks that I would say are like some are here, but they all even out. That's kind of how I'm trying to tier off these guys. C tier, Kyler Murray. I mean, he could go to B, but I think he's still C tier, especially after last year. I mean, he has a lot of weapons too. Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison and James Conner. Got Sam Darnold, and honestly, Sam Darnold might be a little high here, but I'm still keeping him. Right here, you got Bryce Young, got Dak Prescott, Drake May, you got Purdy, and then you got Caleb Williams. I think this is a good tier again. I think this is a pretty accurate tier. I will be posting this on Twitter to see people's reactions. Hopefully, people actually respond. We'll see. D tier, I think this might get a little flack. I got Michael Penix here. I mean, he really hasn't proven anything, so I don't understand what the problem would be. But I mean, I think he has a lot of potential. I think just currently off of where he's sitting compared to these quarterbacks, he's not on the same level as like a Bryce Young. So I can't put him in C tier. Geno Smith, he's always high in yards, but like I feel like any quarterback in the league could do good with those receivers. And then Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston had almost a 500-yard game this year. Like Jameis Winston is one of those guys that, dude, he can go out and he can really have a show. Like I think he's probably top 10 most entertaining quarterback. I really like watching him. It's either a pick or a touchdown. You know what I mean? Like watching him is awesome. E tier underneath these guys, we got Aaron Rodgers. He's just had a rough year. I think he can get back up to like a C tier, maybe a B tier on a different team, but it's gonna take a lot. Anthony Richardson has been really bad. I'm actually gonna put him behind Russ. And then Russell Wilson, he just had a rough year. I think his career is almost over. If a team wants to take him, bite the bullet on him, and go, that's respectable. But I mean, I really like him rebuilding the Saints, like just being a bridge quarterback. Finish out your career on the high end as a starter. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, he's not coming back to Pittsburgh, so it's gonna be interesting. Health tier, we got Daniel Jones and Deshaun Watson. Dude, I don't even have to say anything. I put Justin Fields and Joe Flacco in the mid tier. I put these guys who I view as backups, except for Trevor Lawrence, in the bad tier. I'll put Trevor Lawrence actually up here because Trevor Lawrence is a starter. I think he's an E tier, honestly. None of these guys are actual starters other than that. I will say, I mean, JJ McCarthy is unproven. This guy's an F tier. AOC's in bad tier. I'm going to go Rattlers in bad tier. Mason Rudolph, Cooper Rush is in bad tier. Dorian Thompson Robinson. Then this is a good list, honestly. Like this is what I'm gonna say is my QB tier list right now. I think honestly, where we're at right now, this is the proper QB tier list. I don't know what's going on. No thanks. I don't need that. And yeah, here we go. This is the QB tier list of half of Turf Talk, Richard from Turf Talks tier list, some would say. Oh, this was fun. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I just wanted to hop on here, do a little tier list. I've been really enjoying making videos recently. And, I mean, the more I make, the more I'll get better and the better I will get. So, like, comment, subscribe. And if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, consider subscribing because we post high quality videos. I say 5, 6 times a week now. We're really active. So I'll say once again, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.